Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. My name is Megan and today I have a book review for Siege and Storm for you today. So this book, I started this probably right before Thanksgiving. This was a very heavy book to get into right before a holiday, at least for me. There was a lot of political intrigue in this book as well as a lot of emotional buildup through most of this book. There's quite a bit of tension between Mal and Alina through most of this book. They are pulling apart at some points and forced back together in others, and it's just kind of a push and pull relationship between them. And though I really liked this book, it also really put me through an emotional ringer. This was just so fraught with tensions, and there's the introduction of a ton of new characters, like Nikolai, Tamar and Tolia, and a whole slew of other new characters that you get points of view on, and they're just all very different and very powerful in their own ways. So some of the new characters weren't necessarily honest with everybody up front about why they were there or why they stayed on in some parts of the book. But so with the introduction of a lot of new characters, there was a lot of backstabbing that kind of went on in the background of this book. There was also a lot of secrets being kept and a lot of tensions between everybody. Everybody was butting heads. They were trying to figure out relationship issues and all sorts of really interesting stuff. So there was a lot of stuff that was glossed over in the first books, setting wise. You know, this book really opened up the world so you could tell that there was more there than just the little glossed over bits. And you can see why the author wanted to expand the series into Six of Crows, and because this world is just so rich and vibrant, and there's so many interesting places to explore. And also in this book you also got to see just how devastatingly huge the gap is between the rich and the poor. So the rich people in this series, they have no idea just how devastating things are outside the walls of the capital. It doesn't have any impact on them, so they don't see the people because they never leave the richer districts around the capital, and the poor people in this story are just starving. And with the civil war brewing between the First and Second Army, as well as the Darkling trying to usurp the crown, and it's just gonna keep getting nastier as it goes on. Now, as to Alina, I really like Alina's character, but I felt like Alina's character had little to no development for the first half of this book, probably. And she was wallowing in her self-pity and just feeling sorry for herself, and it's just, I can forgive that to a point, but after a certain amount of time, you should be focusing on escaping and running for your life and trying to hide, and you have to be willing to kick some ass to make sure that you stay hidden. And it just, she got captured again, and I don't know, it just, that kind of irritated me just a little bit, that she didn't have enough wherewithal to get out of her own head and figure out how to survive and avoid capture again. Through the middle and latter half of this book, Alina was, or at least through the middle part of the book, Alina got very power hungry and just not herself. And there's a reason for that, and don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to, but that part I didn't like so much about her character development. However, towards the latter half of the book, she came to the mindset where I thought she should be through most of this book. She was willing to sacrifice herself to save her country, and I really liked where she ended up mentally in the very end of this book. This book was very interesting and very, very politically charged and very emotional, and I will say I didn't quite like this as much as the first one, but I did like it. It was probably just because of all the political crap and all the emotional buildup in this book that I'm only giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, but this book was really a good one, and I can't wait to see how this ends, even though I probably know how it's going to end, but you know. Alright, so that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you for joining me for my book review of Siege and Storm. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. You can also hit the notification button to get notifications when I post a new video. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, I will leave a couple of links down below. If you guys have read this book, what were your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. Alrighty, bye guys!